My name's Stuart Scooby Cochrane. I've been at Tannadice today giving a talk to the under 16 and under 18 teams as well on mindfulness, drugs and mental health. In today's society, things are really difficult for kids. Mental health is a big priority for people, and drugs is an issue as well. Through my life I've lived these things, and I'm just here just to share my story and get it over to them.
Scooby was in telling us what's happened in his life due to drugs, mental health, just pointing out red flags to look out for, if you like, for the boys, and that it only takes once to get them hooked, and then it can be a slippery slope, which can basically, as blunt as he put it, it can ruin your life. So it's just trying to make the boys aware of the choices that they need to make in life, especially off the park, where probably peer pressure comes into it most. Social media, I would guess. So yes, it's pretty hard hitting stuff.
I had a really hard mental health journey. You know, for 30 years I've lived an illness called chronic bipolar. I'm 15 years in recovery. I've been sober and clean of drugs and alcohol for 15 years and 13 years well. So I think what I've been through in my life, I can be there to show people that you can and do recover.
It's very difficult for them. Like, there's so much temptation that comes in front of them that they have to be very careful and very mindful of the decisions that they make in their life. And it doesn't get any easier if they become a fully blown professional footballer. Like, you almost, Scooby's speaking about Buddhism stuff, at times you do have to actually live like a monk just to keep yourself on the straight and narrow and out of the spotlight if possible.
Yeah, it's hard when your mates are going out and stuff, but you just have to stay home and sacrifice it and hope it's worth it in the end, and you do that because you want to get to where you want to.
During my career I had obvious low moments, things that happened in terms of footballing wise, but my low moments have come since I stopped playing. I'm currently coming out of a low moment. I'm speaking to a therapist right now due to my mental health. I felt myself just feeling lost. I just didn't feel myself, and I got to the point where I'm telling my wife stuff, but there's only so much my wife can do, and I realised that I needed to speak to somebody else out with, and that's when I got in touch with Back On Side. I think in total I'll be speaking to her for about 13-14 weeks, and it's massively helped, like how I've been feeling, just how I've been able to deal with retirement, because I felt as though I was okay. I had my knee op when I finished playing, and I just switched off almost. And that switching off was just completely alien to me, because as a footballer I'm constantly training, constantly keeping fit. Routine is there, I know where I need to be, what time I need to be places, and see, once that goes, I found it very difficult to get myself into a routine and the process of working. And yeah, like, I realised that I needed help, and I've reached out for it. It's not a weakness, it's a strength to realise that you need help. So yeah, it's been hard, but I'm getting out the end of it.
I went through a difficult period before I was coming up for a contract, and I just had to go and speak to people about it, and just speak to my family and try and get through it, because I got to a point where I just didn't know if I wanted to keep doing it. It was hard because it was just hard to speak about how you feel, and I don't know, you'd feel like embarrassed, but it helped so much, like, speaking about it.
But physically I know I could still play the game right now, but the reason I gave up was because my head went, and I just didn't enjoy playing the game anymore. Ex-footballers come out and say that they get no guidance. It's actually true. There isn't a great deal, unless you know somebody, there isn't a huge amount of help for footballers that finish the game. It's almost like you finish and you're just forgotten about. Becoming a regular everyday person, to say, it's a big step and it's a big change, because all you've ever known is from under 18s onwards is football.
Confidence is the biggest thing for a player. I went through a time last season where I wasn't scoring, and I spoke to a sports psychologist near the end of the season, and he helped me get through it. I would speak to him once a week for about 1 to 2 months, and it got me through it, and near the end of the season I was scoring every game, and it just helped me get back to my best.
I think young males and mental health is a predominant thing in society, but you know, I just think there's so much pressure on kids right now between social media and what to do. It's really, really hard, but there is hope. There's things out there that you can get some help for, and hopefully in the talk that I gave today, I gave some tips on how to stay well.
I'm starting to try and remain as present as possible. I have been doing meditations on my own and with my wife, just to try and remain as present as possible. And another massive thing is try and control what I can control, and don't let the things that I can't control affect me. If you just take care and look after what you can control, what you can do on or off the pitch, then you've given it your everything. That's all you can do.
It's been a real privilege coming to Tannadice today just to speak to the lads. They're all good lads.